It has been a stormy night across much of the Piedmont. Stokes County seeing a lot of problems with 14 buildings damaged, including 3 homes.
The fire marshal says the National Weather Service is coming out at daybreak to figure out if a tornado did in fact touch down. Out of all this, though, we do know that no one was hurt in our area. Good morning. I'm Cindy Farmer.
I'm Brad Jones. Thanks for starting your day with us. We do have a tornado watch in effect for most of the Piedmont until 10 o'clock this morning. And that's counties that stretch literally all across the Piedmont. Emily, you're watching this storm as it kind of develops this morning, right?
Indeed, and all through the day we're going to be watching storms coming in from the southwest, going from southwest to northeast. It's going to be a repeating pattern pretty much over the same part of the state for at least the first half of the day. As we get into the evening hours, our front's actually going to have a little bit of motion to it, a little movement off to the east, so we'll start to see those storms shifting down towards the triangle late in the day into the evening hours. Right now, some heavy to moderate rain moving in from Hickory all the way through Statesville and up towards Mocksville. A little bit of light rain here across Forsyth County right now. The 40 corridor is awfully wet, so do be careful. Also 77 through Iredell County, getting some rain that could be ponding on the roads, just enough to cause some problems. Otherwise, in Winston-Salem, it's just light rain. We're not seeing a whole lot of rain showers that are going to inhibit your travel, certainly. And kids at the bus stop will probably see the rain picking up in intensity over the next hour or so. You can see how the yellow starts to move right here across Forsyth County and into Guilford County by 7 a.m. So this is going to be a good day to have kids who are at the bus stop maybe sitting in the car till the bus gets there. We have flash flood warnings in effect for northern Forsyth County until 6:15 and for Stokes and Rockingham counties until 10:45 this morning. Plenty of storm reports here across much of central North Carolina. Stokes County, wind damage reports around 11:19. A lot of folks were already in bed when near Danbury. We had some big nasty winds back here just to the west of Statesville around Claremont. A report of a tornado at 7:45. Luckily that was early enough in the evening. Folks were awake and aware, hopefully, of what was going on. And another tornado report just a little earlier than that. Same storm actually a bit earlier around 7:12 back over into Lincoln County. It's very mild outside. This is juice for thunderstorms. The very warm air over central and eastern North Carolina is just going to aid and abet the storms to become severe as the day goes on. Again, we have that tornado watch in effect until 10 a.m. for the Triad, but all the way down to the eastern end of the state, we have the likelihood for showers and thunderstorms that could reach severe levels through the day. There's the watch area. You can see all the way from Greenville, South Carolina up to Danville, even up towards Norfolk. And we're going to be dealing with the possibility of severe weather at least through 10 a.m. We'll likely see more advisories coming out later in the day. And as you can see, showers still up ahead for our viewing area. 1/2 to 1 inch of rain in the rain gauge. So your watch is in effect until 10 a.m. for central North Carolina. The primary threat all the way through the day will be for storms with winds in excess of 58 miles per hour and isolated tornadoes still a factor in the forecast. Here's your 5-day forecast. 83 today, clearing out by tomorrow, though tonight could be rather turbulent. 78 for Thursday, then highs in the 60s on Friday and Saturday.
Well, as we told you, Stokes County hit hard by last night's storms.
The fire marshal hopes to get a better look at the damage once day breaks a little later. Well, this morning, our Chad Tucker is tracking the storm from Forsyth County, where there have been reports of flash flooding. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning, Brad and Cindy. Yes, it was a rough night throughout the Piedmont. The hardest hit, the Quaker Gap community in Stokes County. Let's take a look at some video from the community. It's shot overnight. This storm came through just after 11 o'clock last night, and most of the damage was centered around Flat Shoals and Sizemore Road. Now, Sizemore Road loops around, starting and ending on Flat Shoal Road, and in that area is where most of the damage occurred. Trees down, blocking Flat Shoals Road, trees down on vehicles, including a truck. A carport collapsed last night. A metal shed was destroyed, and pieces of the metal from that shed could be found in the trees. Now, that happened off Rough Road, which is a private drop off of Sizemore Road, so it was a rough night on Rough Road. The National Weather Service is expected later today to investigate if, in fact, a tornado came through the Quaker Gap community of Stokes County. That will happen later this afternoon. The fire marshal says that from what they can tell and the metal being found in the trees, it's a good sign that there was possibly a tornado. But again, the National Weather Service will confirm that later this morning. The good news in all this, of course, is there were no injuries, just a restless night in the Quaker Gap community of Stokes County. Brad and Cindy.
All right, Chad, thank you so much for that report. We'll check in with you again later.
Elsewhere in the news, about 100 Greensboro police officers took to the streets yesterday. They canvassed the neighborhood where a little boy and his father were murdered this weekend. Saturday evening, police say someone shot Marquise Steens and his 7-year-old son Malik. As of right now, Greensboro police say they do not have a suspect in the case. Marquise did have a criminal history, but there are no recent charges. Investigators are hoping someone will be able to help them solve the case, and neighbors agree. They say they are ready for the killer or killers to be found. By the way, this is the third time the Greensboro police officers have canvassed the Durant Street neighborhood.
Earlier this year, a jury convicted a former Camp Lejeune Marine, Cesar Lorien, of killing fellow Marine Maria Lauterbach. Detectives say he fled to Mexico after he killed Lauterbach and buried her body in his backyard. Well, the DA who reviewed the case held a press conference yesterday. He wanted to let everyone know that Lorien's wife, Christina, is innocent. Hudson said there is absolutely no evidence to suggest Christina Lorien was involved in Lauterbach's murder, although the two were married at the time. Christina Lorien, by the way, is being sued in civil court by Maria Lauterbach's family.
And checking in on our traffic this morning, in case you haven't picked up on it, we've got some problems out there. We've got some flooding. We've got some roads closed because of flooding. We've got flood watches in effect. We've still got tornado watches in effect out there today. So do be especially careful as you get ready to head out. You're going to need a heads up. Let's take, for instance, Bethabara Road at North Point Boulevard. That's been closed due to flooding in Winston-Salem. They've also closed the 3300 block of New Walkertown Road. That's there near the golf course, Winston Lake Golf Course, so watch out for that. In Louisville, they've closed Grapevine there at Conrad. Forsyth County's got that flood watch in effect. Now in Stokes County, we were just hearing from Chad up around the Quaker Gap, the Flat Shoals area. We've got some trees down around there. Haven't heard any reports of any power outages, but Emily and I were just talking, and likely as not, if there are trees down, there's probably going to be some power outages. So, and this is not the end of it. We got another round that's coming in. We've got some winds that are going to be coming in, and you know what? You don't have to have a tornado to have wind damage. And you don't have to have a tornado to get blown out of your lane if you're out there on the highways and the byways. So be especially careful out there as you're driving today and keep those headlights on. Now, I do want to remind you, Interstate 85 there at Highway 150, they have closed the ramp from northbound 85 to 150. The detouring traffic, you have to go on up and use Clark Road exit and then double back to Highway 150. All part of that widening project there over the Yadkin River Bridge. We'll have another traffic report in just a few minutes.
You know, energy drinks may be popular, but they're not necessarily healthy.
Ahead after 6:20, we have some healthy choices, though, for a midday snack, even if it comes from